What up, guys? Almost functional. Back with a another video. Got Nick back. Today we're going to be going over the Blood Angels right here. So we got a couple others to do too. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into this. Any thoughts, Nick?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is the first day with the chapter releases for Space Marines. So we've got Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Death Watch, and we're gonna start off with Blood Angels here. So we've got those pulled up. Um, Detachment rule. So these guys are of course Space Marines. So this is gonna combine. This is basically supplemental to the all the regular Space Marine data sheets, which we already went over. So this is going to be all the chapter specific stuff as well as their own detachment. Um, so the way these detachments are going to work in 10th edition, they come with their own um, basically their own stratagems as well as their own detachment rule in addition to the army rule. Um, so what that means is this is not going to basically fall under Gladius. This would fall under, so for Blood Angels, it's, we're going to start with Sons of Sanguinius. Um, so what this says, each time it's Sons of Sanguinius detachment rule, the Red Thirst. Your army can include Blood Angels, um, cannot include Space Marine units drawn from any other chapter. So that's similar to what we already saw with the Ultramarines and so on. The Red Thirst is each time a unit is selected to fight Blood Angel, if they made a charge this turn until the end of the phase, +1 to strength and attack in combat. So this is basically the same as what World Eaters have. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. So
pretty good, pretty good.
yeah, it's solid. And this is replacing your combat doctrines. That's the rule you lose to get this rule, because that is the Gladius detachment rule. So you keep your oath of the moment, but you're going to lose combat doctrines, and then you'll lose all those six marine strats in Gladius, and you'll gain the six that we're getting ready to look at right here. If my thing will
Yep.
scroll down.
So the so some of these what we've seen with these, some of these stratagems are the same. Uh, so so usually one or two of them for each of these have been the same. So the Armor of Contempt, that's the pick a Space Marine unit in the shooting or fight phase. Um, when enemy targets them in that phase, it's -1 AP. That's the same as in the Gladius, as well as the 2 CP Fight on Death. That's called Only in Death Does Duty End. So that's actually exactly the same. It's just copy and pasted from Gladius. So there's definitely a little bit of crossover here. Um, but we also have basically there's four ones here that are not shared. So you got the Angel Sacrifice. Looks like it says 1 CP any phase, one Space Marine unit that was just destroyed. You can use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. Uh,
Yeah, basically
and then until the
yeah, basically what this one is
oh
if
yeah,
a
yeah,
Blood Angel character dies, you pop the strat, and the enemy unit that killed him, your whole army gets reroll hits against them for the rest of the battle. So you just go
gotcha.
into it's basically your character sacrifices himself, and then you can do better against that unit. And then the next one we have is Aggressive Onslaught, which is in the fight phase. And this is we see this in a couple other places too. It just lets your right when your units get ready to consolidate, you can just do 6 inches instead of three, but you still have to end in coherency and within engagement range, or you can't do it.
That's pretty good. So 6 inch consolidate.
Yeah, yeah, it just makes it easier to get into move into the next engagement range, so you get that movement, because that 3 inches is
That
a little tough with the restrictions now.
that's pretty good. This is actually pretty good. So if you can if you have ways to throw out battle shock, maybe apply battle shock at range, and then tie them up. It makes it really difficult for them to get out of combat with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah. And then the next one is Red Rampage. It's also in the fight phase. It's one of your units that hasn't fought yet, and basically until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in the unit have lance and lethal hits. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
pretty nice, yeah. So just Blood Angels. Most
So,
of your strats are just giving you a little extra punch.
and I think Lance is when they charge it's +1 to wound.
Yeah, I believe it's something like that. I keep meaning to re-look it up because I keep seeing it everywhere, and it's one of the few I just
Yeah. So
can't remember off the top of my head.
this is cool. I imagine they're going to do something like this with a lot of the combat armies because this stacks up with the chapter trait a lot. So
Oh yeah,
because it basically when they charge, this is going to be +1 to wound, +1 strength, +1 attack, and 6 is auto wound.
yeah.
So this is that's a lot of combat bonuses there.
Yeah, so the Red Thirst and Red Rampage together, you're going to be covered in blood.
And then the last one is Relentless Assault. Uh, movement phase just after your unit falls back. Target the unit that fell back, and then until the end of the turn, you're eligible to charge. So it's a 1 CP, fall back and charge. Pretty similar to what we saw with the Gladius, actually, too, because the Gladius had that sort of thing with the doctrines.
Yep, and yeah, so since you lost that, it's good to have this in here so you at least have some access to it.
Yep. So good amount of flexibility, like we saw with the Gladius as well. So
Yep.
cool.
And then they roll us
That's
down.
so those are all.
Yeah,
That's
that's all the strats, yep. And then they roll us down into the enhancements. So we got Artisans of Wars, the first one. A Death Astartes model only. Improve the armor penetration characteristic of the bearer's weapons by 1, and the bearer gets a 2-up save.
it.
So, it's
Yeah,
alright.
it's decent. It's decent.
Yeah, +1 OP is okay. 2-up save's nice, but we'll see if any of the other ones are better.
Next one is Visage of Death. Space Marine model. While an enemy unit is within engagement range of the unit, half the OC. Oh, excluding monsters and vehicles, half the OC value of models in that unit. So the way that works is it'll round up. So this won't have any effect on OC1, unfortunately, but it'll be good against. Actually, this also doesn't work against monsters and vehicles. So this really only works against characters and infantry and beasts.
Battle line, yeah.
So yeah,
But
battle line.
if you have a little cheap character you stick in your battle line, you just use them to just go steal objectives from other battle line. That's their only real job. It's okay, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, probably this one probably won't see too much play.
No. The next we have the Archangel Shard. Adepts of Astartes model only. The bearer's melee weapons have anti-chaos 5+ and lance abilities. Anti-chaos,
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's only a 5-up, so that's cool if you're playing chaos, but just giving a character lance all the time, that's not horrible.
it's all right. I mean, there's 5 different chaos armies that we're gonna see, so
Yeah.
it might come into play.
Yeah.
And then Icon of the Angel, Space Marine model. Each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters and vehicles, within engagement range of the bear's unit falls back, the enemy must make a desperate escape test, as if their unit was battle shocked. So what that means when you desperate escape when you're battle shocked, you roll for each model in the unit. On a 1 or 2, they're destroyed. And then, in addition, if the unit's already battle shocked, and you do this, then it's also -1, so they would die on 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so that's really nice. Yeah, so if you get the guy wearing this into a unit and they fall back, average half their models are dying if they're battle shocked.
Yep. So this is kind of like cut them down, certain things. So basically prevents them from. Well, it doesn't prevent them, but makes it difficult to fall back.
Yeah, so all of them are okay. Nothing like super jumping out to me, but we'll see their points now. So we'll see if they're pointed kind of cheap, then a couple of them are worth taking.
Yep. All right. So I guess we'll just jump into these data sheets.
Yep.
I think we can probably do 2 at a time here. There's not really that many of them. I think we've got about 30. It's about 15 different data sheets here. So, the first one is Asharath. So he's a flying infantry character chaplain. let's see. So he is a leader. He's a leader that specifically attaches to Death Company Jump Pack Marines.
Yep.
And then this is the guy. He's like the executioner. He's got the executioner axe. 4 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 6 minus 3, 2 damage. He's got a 2-up save, which is pretty nice.
Yep.
He's got a 4-up invuln. So this guy's abilities, looks like his axe has devastating wounds, pretty nice. So abilities, we've got Redeemer of the Lost. This basically gives his unit 4-up fight on death.
Yep.
So it looks like, from what we've seen so far, we've seen a couple of fight on death abilities. Generally, I think everyone we've seen is triggered on a 4-up now. So this is kind of in line with what we've seen. There's no more. I haven't seen any automatic fight on death. I think actually that the 2 CP stratagem is automatic, but that's so. Let's see.
Yeah.
His next ability is Massive Doom. Once per battle, when the model's unit makes a charge move, you can use the ability. Until the end of the turn, melee weapons get devastating wounds. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty good. Unfortunately, this doesn't really help this character because he already has devastating wounds.
Yep.
But, once we get to Death Company, I think we'll have a better idea of how good this guy is.
Yep.
It's probably okay. Yeah, this guy really only has one ability, but so Ball Predator, he's got the Flamestorm Cannon, range 18, D6 plus 3 shots, ignores cover and torrent, so it's basically a super heavy flamer. Strength 6 minus 2 damage. And then he's got either twin las cannon or twin heavy bolter side sponsons, so that's the same as it's always been. So the twin assault cannon is instead of the flamestorm cannon, devastating wounds twin linked. So this has the typical like dual assault cannon profile. Like we saw this, you see this on like the Ravenwing Talon Master and the what was the other guy? The Gladiator Reaper. So reroll wounds, devastating wounds, pretty decent. Only 6 shots, so not crazy, but still good chance of doing some mortals. This guy's T10, 3-up save, 11 wounds. So he's like a similar profile to like kind of like a whirlwind. Moves 12 inches, OC3. His special ability, this guy is of course a Blood Angel specific tank. His special ability is overcharge engines. You can reroll advance rolls. Additionally, each time he advances until the end of the turn, range models have the assault ability, but can only target the infantry units. So I don't know why exactly they added that, but on this to the end. But
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not super sure about that. But yeah, I mean this guy's decent. He could end up pretty far up the table. Definitely, this guy's a tank that specializes in killing infantry. Given that he's basically all strength 6 and strength 5. He's this guy's probably particularly good in Overwatch too. I think because he's got this 18-inch range flamestorm cannon.
Yeah,
it's
just weird that they added that infantry caveat on the assault. Because one, he's not hurting vehicles too much, but now you can't shoot like bikes and stuff when you advance. You can't shoot like a bike squad.
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't know what their reasoning is for that. Because if he just gained assault, I think that would be fine. I don't know why they're restricting it.
I know. And then once he's down to 4 wounds, he's -1 to hit. But yeah, other than the infantry caveat there, I mean, he's pretty much what you'd expect from a Predator. They've always been fast shooting units.
Yeah, I think that if you take him with the flamestorm cannon or the heavy flamers, he could have a very scary Overwatch.
Absolutely. Yeah, the way new Overwatch works. Yep. All right.
So he's probably cool looking model.
Yeah. And next we got Brother Corbulu. He's just a bolt pistol, and then he's got Heaven's Teeth, which is sustained hits 1, 6 attacks, 2 up to hit, strength 5, -1 damage. It's okay. Toughness 4, 4 wounds. It's leadership 6, 1 OC. Pretty standard character profile right there. And then he's a Sanguinary Priest, so he gives his unit a 5-up Feel No Pain, which is nice. And then while he's leading a unit, you can add 1 to the attack's characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. So he gives the unit a 5-up Feel No Pain and +1 attack in combat, so that's not horrible. He can
Yep.
join the Assault Squad, Devastator, Tactical, and basically pretty much all your Firstborn Marines he can join.
Yep. It looks like he'll just kind of go with assault squads. Doesn't have a whole lot of good options there.
Yeah.
Next guy is Tycho. So I think I've seen this guy played a few times. Him and Dante. I think is that the old Tycho model they have there, or is that I can't tell.
I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, it's a kind of a this guy's kind of weird. So he's a character captain. Um, he's got a 2-up save, artificer armor, 5 wounds. He's a firstborn, so he's got the same restrictions as Corbulo, assault squad, command squad, tactical squad, vanguard vets. Looks like he's got gifted commander. While he's leading the unit, he buffs the range weapons of that unit with assault, heavy, and rapid fire. So it's each time they're selected to shoot, you can make all their ranged weapons have that. That's pretty good, actually.
Well, you select one each time. You don't get all 3.
Select one, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good though. I mean, because if you apply that to maybe like a tactical squad, get +1 to hit.
Or put him in a dev squad. If most of their weapons already have heavy, you just give him assault.
He can't go in dev squads, unfortunately.
Oh, he can't go in dev squads. It's the one he can't. Oh, the other guy could go in dev squads.
Yep. This guy would actually be good in dev squads. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
maybe it'd be too good. Running around with a bunch of grav weapons.
Who knows?
Alright, then it got an okay combat attack. Alright, he's fine, but yeah, both these guys are limited by Firstborn Marines, and we saw what happened to Vanguard Vets, so I'm not sure how much you'll see them.
This guy's got a cool ability. So he's got a ability called Embittered. The first time an attack is allocated to this model after the attack unit is finished attacking, change the attack characteristic of this model's dead man's hand to 12. So he's a firstborn with 12 attacks. The profile is really not that good though. It's weapon skill 2, strength 4, -1/2 damage. So it's kind of like a mastercrafted chainsword sort of thing.
Yeah. So you basically, unless you're killing him, you don't want to snipe him. Because then if he lives, he's sitting in the middle of the squad, just double attacks.
Yeah, that's a lot. That ability kind of makes me excited to see like what Ragnar Blackmane might do.
Oh, I've seen my Space Wolves. Yeah, I'm not super happy with a lot of it, but he's one. We'll get into that when we get there. All right, and then next up we got Mephiston. Move 7, 2-up save, T5, 6 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. So 2-up save's nice. He's got a Witchfire shot. It's only 12-inch range. It's 3 attacks, hits on 2s. Strength 4 upgrades to 5. -1 AP upgrades to -2. D3 damage on both. Sustained hits 1 on the short little version, but sustained hits 3 and hazardous on the big version. So that's not horrible. You get a 6 on one of those, it's 3 extra hits. And basically got a 50-50 chance of getting a 6.
Yeah.
And then you got Oath of the Moment up. You don't get a 6. You reroll those fishing for 6s. So because you get 1 6, it's the same as hitting with all 3. Actually, it's better than hitting with all 3 of the regular ones because you get 4 hits.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
They just got a plasma pistol, and then his combat is Vitarius. It's psychic, 6 attacks.
Strength 9.
Strength 9, -3, D3 damage. So all his stuff's D3 damage. Looks like all the old psychic powers did. So that's nice. And then quickening, he gives his unit fight first. And models in it unit have a 4-up feel no pain against psychic attacks. So only against psychic attacks, not mortals or regular attacks, just psychic attacks. So it's a little limited, but against certain armies that'll be great. And then his other psychic is Transfixing Gaze. The start of fight phase, you select one enemy unit within engagement range of this psyker's unit and roll 1d6. On a 1, his unit suffers d3. On a 2 to 5, you subtract 1 from the enemy's weapon skill, and on a 6, you subtract 1 from their weapon skill and attacks.
Oh wow! So -1 weapon skill. That's we haven't. This guy's got a load of good abilities.
What
I
is
mean,
interesting is minus one weapon skill. So if you have some other way to give them minus one to hit, that will stack.
yeah, yeah, it will. It will. That's really strong.
Yep.
So this guy, he moves 7 inches. It's interesting that this guy, his weapon is stronger than we've seen.
Yeah.
Because on a lot of these, what is it? This guy's essentially a librarian, but
Yeah.
on a lot
Yeah.
of
He's the
these,
chief librarian. Yep.
on a lot of these Primaris characters, like we've seen a lot of six. Strength six is
Yep.
pretty common, but then this guy's just randomly strength 9.
Yep.
So
He's
they
limited
kind of
to assault intercessors, intercessors, and stern guard though. So very
oh, I
limited
see.
squad options. I mean, stern guard we're probably going to see, and then assault intercessors might actually be good in Blood Angels. So you might stick him in with a 5 or 10 man squad of those.
So fights first. So I guess the best. I guess assault intercessors is probably going to be the best in terms of like giving them fights first.
Right, because yeah, intercessors you're probably only bringing 5 mans just for the sticky objective, and then stern guard are more of a shooting unit. So yeah, so if you
Yeah.
want the most out of him, you're probably sticking him in assault intercessors.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yep.
All right. So next one is Dante. So this guy just got the brand new model. So this guy's the Blood Angels chapter master. Of course, he's got a jump pack. Let's see, two up save, 6 wounds, leadership 6. He's got a melta pistol, 1 shot with the melta profile. Sustained hits D3 on the melta pistol, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
What else? He's got the Axe Mortalis. Lethal hits, 8 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 7, -3, 2 damage. So pretty good. As far as the abilities, he's got 4 up invuln, and then he's the Lord Regent. So while he's leading a unit, add +1 to charge rolls, and then each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add +1 to the hit roll. So that's shooting and combat. So +1 to hit all the time. So pretty strong. Second ability, Death Mask of Sanguinius. At the start of the fight phase, each time an enemy unit is within 6, must take a battle shot. Each enemy unit within 6 must take a battle shot test, subtracting 1 from the test when they do that. So, wow, and that's automatic at the start of the fight phase.
Yep.
So, this guy's that's 2 very, very strong abilities.
Yeah, but he's Dante though. He should have some.
Yeah, given that he's like the chapter master, so he's real strong here. So he goes into a squad, either your assault squad, your Stingray guard, or your Vanguard vets.
He's going with Sengard because nobody's taking Vanguard vets anymore. They got quashed, and then Assault Squad just doesn't seem. He'd be wasted in that. You put him in with the Sengard probably.
Yeah, so this makes me wonder because I think did Sengard usually hit on 2s or 3s? I guess they probably hit on 3s.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they might. I don't remember. I've played against them. I know they had a 2-up save and no invul, and they had a lot of attacks, but I don't remember exactly what they hit on.
I think they probably hit on 3s now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure his abilities actually work on them.
Well, I mean, sometimes having it hitting on 2s, having that +1 hit anyway, just helps you nullify -1s.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So we got a Death Company Dread, move 8, T9, 2-up save, which we're seeing on most Dreads, 8 wounds, leadership 6, object control 3, Flammer, Meltagun, Stormbolter, all what you expect. Then Blood Talon is 7 attacks, strength 8, -2, 3 damage, and Twin Furioso Fists, 5 attacks, strength 12, -3, 3 damage. They're both twin linked. That's solid. He's got a 6-up Feel No Pain, and he has Black Rage. So each time this model makes an attack, you can reroll a hit roll. While this model is not within 12 inches of one or more friendly chaplain models, it cannot be selected to fall back, and its objection control character 0. Alright, so he just has reroll hits, but if he's outside of 12 of a chaplain, he never can fall back, and his objective control is 0. And then he's got a Frenzied Reprisal. Each time an enemy unit targets this model, after that unit has finished making its attacks, this model can either shoot as if it were shooting phase or fight as if it were your fight phase. So, and since he's a vehicle, he can be shot in combat. So and it doesn't say he has to attack the unit that attacked him.
Wow.
So he's in combat, you shoot him, he's just going to attack the models around him.
That's that's really strong.
Yeah.
Frenzy. Each time an enemy targets this model, so it's any time.
Yeah, it's not limited to number of times per phase or anything that I see.
It's not. Yeah, there's no restrictions on it at all.
Yes, you charge in with multiple units. Oh, attack. Then he does this, and then would he still be eligible to pick do his regular activation? I don't see why not. So you charge in, attack him. This
Yeah,
triggers, and now it's his turn to pick.
that's crazy. Yeah, so this is really dangerous because if this guy ends up in combat at all, and then you basically just don't want to shoot him because otherwise he'll just fight himself out of combat with those fists.
Yeah, well, you don't even
And
want to attack him because he's going to double attack you back. Like you pretty much want to try to
oh
kill this
yeah,
guy at range.
well if you kill him outright, like because you fight first, then he won't attack back. But
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's T9, 8 wounds with a 6 of
he's
feel
got a
no
6 up
pain.
field no pain.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's stuff that can kill him in one shot, but
I like that. I like that ability. That's pretty.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And he
Um,
has the Magna Grapple, so he loses the smoke keyword, but add 2 to charge rolls made for this bear if one or more of the
oh wow,
target's charge is a monster or vehicle. So he gets +2 to charge against monsters or vehicles.
is that automatic? Jeez,
Let's see, war gear
that's
options.
that's really good.
Model can be equipped with a Magna Grapple, so you got to buy it. We'll see how many points it costs, but
Oh yeah, because I mean he's great at fighting monsters and vehicles. Really.
oh yeah, well yeah, he charges in,
Yeah, I can see it.
he attacks them, they attack him back, he attacks again. Or they charge him, they
Yeah,
attack him, they don't kill him, he attacks, and then activates and attacks.
yeah. This is the best box knot that we've seen so far. This is definitely pretty strong.
Yeah.
Even if he is OC value 0, like he like if he's doing that much damage, he's gonna just be a nuisance.
Oh, absolutely.
So, oh yeah, because his that Black Rage ability applies to the Frenzy Reprisal, so he always rerolls all hits on everything. So
Correct.
on shooting and combat,
Correct.
and then that's not even considering that you might have your Oath of Moment happening as well for rerolling wounds.
Yep.
So
But yeah, that Black
yeah,
Rage, you're going to see that's pretty much, that rule is on all the Death Company. If they get
oh wow.
outside of range, they can't fall back and they lose OC.
Okay, well I've never seen Blood Angels fall back anyway, so it's probably not going to be a thing that happens.
Yep. Yeah, they charge and they either win or they die.
Yep.
Alright. So then now.
Okay. Next one is Death Company Intercessors. So these guys have the Black Rage ability. Of course, these are like your Primaris Intercessors.
Yep.
Profile is about what you expect.
Yeah.
Hand flamer, grenade launcher.
Yeah, basically, yeah, these next couple, the Death Company, like the abilities is the only thing that's different than the normal Marine ones. So we probably don't have to worry about the stat line and the weapons. That's pretty much the same. It's just going to be the abilities that are what makes them unique.
Yep. So they've got a decent ability here. So they've got the Black Rage, which is it's all right. I mean, reroll hits is good.
Yeah.
They've got the Visions of Heresy. Once per turn, you can target this unit with Fire Overwatch or Heroic Intervention for 0 CP. That's interesting that it's once per turn because that means you could do it on you could use that ability twice per round.
Well,
Seems
not
like a
really,
lot of.
because you can't fire Overwatch or Heroic on your turn because your opponent doesn't do anything to trigger it.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah,
Now, if
I
for
guess
some
it would
reason
basically
someone
be
does
either or.
have some sort of weird out of turn thing, although I think these strats
Oh
might
no,
also specifically say they're in your.
they do. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. Because both of those strats say they have to happen on your opponent's turn.
yeah,
Okay, okay. So, well, free Overwatch. I mean, they have. I think they just have auto bolt rifles.
yeah. Well, it looks like, yeah, you can give a hand flamer. Yeah, so it's not great. The Heroic Intervention is probably what you want to do with them when you can. But if you got no
Yeah.
other targets, Overwatching for free, if you get a wound or two, I mean, it costs you nothing.
Yep. And then these guys they're not battle line, unfortunately. So
No, yeah, none of the Death Company is going to be battle line. You got to take regular
they.
intercessors and stuff if you want the.
All right.
And then we just have Death Company Marines. It's just your standard firstborn guys. Same thing, Feel No Pain 6 up, Black Rage, and then their special rule is Honorable Death in Combat. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, that attack has the Sustained Hits 1 ability if the unit is below its starting strength, or Sustained Hits 2 if the unit is below half strength. So there's another thing where they just get rules as their unit gets smaller.
All right. So nothing too interesting there,
Nope.
really. The next one is same thing. Death Company Marines with jump packs. So Black 6-up Feel No Pain, Black Rage, Deep Strike, because they're Assault Marines,
Yep.
and then Berserk Fury. You can reroll charges.
Yep.
And this is pretty standard for what you'd expect with Assault Marine. Doesn't look like they have any. There's no special loadouts or anything.
The Inferno. They get access to the Inferno pistol for being Blood Angels. That's the only real change.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe.
It looks like they nerfed this Inferno pistol though too, because now it's only D3 instead of D6.
Yep.
That stinks.
Yep. And you got to be within 3 inches to get your extra 2 damage. So they're okay, but yeah, if they cost a lot of points, I wouldn't waste time running them.
Yeah,
Although,
probably.
Although they used to be really good, so I know a lot of Blood Angels have those. Players have those everywhere.
I used to see these all the time with Thunderhammers.
Yep. The next.
Well, they have reroll hits built in now, so maybe the Thunderhammers might be a little better. You never know.
Yeah, you can pop Oath of the Moment and stuff. Thunderhammer might hit a little bit. Then we got the Furious Joe Dreadnought, T9, 8 wounds. Flamer, he gets the Frag Cannon. That's always something cool they had. D6, 7, neg 1, 2. He still has the Blood Talon and the Furioso Fist, but he can also take Twin Furioso Fist, which is the same profile, just gains Twin Linked. Then his rule is Wrathful Rampage. Each time this model is selected to fight, you can select one enemy unit within engagement range of it and roll 1d6, adding 2 to the result if this model made a charge this turn. On a 4 to 5, the enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds, and on a 6 plus, the enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. So just every time he fights, you have a potential to do. Well, most of the time it's a 50-50 chance to do mortals, but if you charged, basically anything but a 1, you're going to do some kind of mortal. And on a 4 up, you're going to be doing 3 mortals.
Yeah.
And then
he's probably not as good as the other one.
No, then he can also take the Magna Grapple.
Yep. So yeah, I don't think. I mean, he's all right, but he's not as good as the other one. The Death Company one was better.
Yeah. Well, this is him before he gets angry, and the other one's after he gets angry.
Gotcha. All right. So next one, character Gabriel Seth. I think is this the Blood Drinker? What is it? Blood Drinkers, I think.
Blood Terrors, Flesh Terrors.
Or Flesh. Yeah, Flesh Terrors.
What's interesting on his keyword, faction keywords, it still says Blood Angels. So there's no distinction here. Is there anything in his other stuff?
I don't think that.
This model's from a Flesh Terrors chapter. For all purposes, treated as a Blood Angel model, but cannot be included in any army that includes other Blood Angels epic heroes. Alright, so you just can't take any other epic heroes. But other than that, you have full access to the. Other than that, the Blood Angel rules are exactly the same.
Oh, interesting. So he's like in his own standalone chapter.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. He's basically a firstborn. He joins Assault Squad, Command Squad, Tactical, Vanguard Vets. His abilities are, or he's got a big Eviscerator Chainsword, Blood Reaver, Sustained Hits 1, 6 attacks, Weapon Skill 2, Strength 8 minus 2, 3 damage. Pretty good.
Yep.
Well, he's leading a unit. They can advance and charge, so that's awesome. And then each Whirlwind of Gore. Each time this model fights, until that fight is resolved, add +1 to the attack characteristic for every 5 enemy models within 6 inches of this model. That's really conditional.
Yep.
That's really not that good. So yeah, this guy kind of stinks.
Yeah, I mean, getting Advance and Charge is okay. He's got decent combat, but he has other rule. If you're fighting an elite army, he's not going to help you.
Yeah.
But if you're a Flesh Terrors player, I mean, he's your only real character, so.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't move him into Legends.
That's true. Then next up we got Lamarties. Now that's an old school chaplain right there. He's got the Blood Crozius, which has lethal hits. 5 attacks, hits on 2, strength 6, -2, 2 damage. That's solid. Feel No Pain 6+. Guardian of the Lost. While this model is leading a unit, Each time an attack is allocated to a model in that unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack. So he gives his units -1
Whoa.
damage. So if it's
Wow.
the way we've been seeing and people have been playing it, bolters, regular chainsaw, any 1 damage weapon is useless against
Jeez.
this squad. And while he's
And
leading,
it's Death Company.
and while models leading a unit, melee weapons equipped by models in that unit have the lethal hits ability. So they have a
Oh,
built-in
that's so
feel
good.
no
That's so
pain,
good.
and they're immune to any damage when attacks.
Yeah. So this is the guy. This is the guy you want because he's just gonna make your. He's a chaplain too, so he helps all your Death Company out.
Oh yeah, you just slam them into other people's bad line and stuff and be like, oh, you can't hurt me? Sorry, just sit here and eat this.
Yeah. This guy's so good.
Yep.
He does he gain reroll all hits from the. Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah, because
yeah.
the black basically if he joins that unit, because the black rage applies to the whole unit.
Correct.
That's cool. So the unit actually buffs him. So there's a nice synergy there.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things they limited which units characters can join because buffs
Yeah, because they
confer
kind of buff
both
each other.
ways. Yeah.
Yep. Sweet. Oh, he's really cool.
Yeah.
And next one is your Librarian Dread. So I've seen this guy played a couple times.
Oh yeah, Big Dave used
so-
to run him all the time against me.
Nice. So you've got your standard Dread profile. Only moves 6 inches, of course. But so as for your weapons, you've got your Psychic Witchfire called Bloodlance. Range 18, 1 attack, BS3, strength 10. Strength 10 -3, D6 damage. And then the Focused Witchfire is +2 strength and D6 +3 damage. So really hard hitting psychic here. Only 1 attack,
But
but
if
it's
you
also got.
yeah, so if you roll
roll
that
a
6,
six.
that sustained hits D3 is huge.
Yeah, this is really strong. This is even better than a las cannon. So the Focus Witchfire is better than a las cannon.
Other than range, yeah.
Yeah, he's got combat weapon. He's got a Furiosa Fist, which is standard, and then he's got a Force Halberd, which is he's got the Halberd and the Fist. So the Halberd is extra attack psychic weapon, 1 attack weapon skill 2, strength 9 -3, D6 +3. So it's the damage on that Halberd, that 1 Halberd attack is the same as the Focused Witchfire damage.
Yep.
So this that's a lot of damage. I mean, that's really a lot. Abilities here, we've got two psychic abilities. We've got the Shield of Sanguinius. Well, a Space Marine is within 6 of this model. Are you serious? Models in that unit have a 5 up. Oh, it's 5 up against mortals and psychic attacks. So.
But that's
really
nice that
good
it did mortal and psychic because there's a lot of devastating wounds out there.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
And
it's similar.
And as long as one model's in 6, it's for the whole unit, which is nice.
Yeah, this is good. So this is kind of like a hybrid ability between the Psychic Hood and the Chaplain Terminator Chaplain protection ability.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one here is Wings of Sanguinius psychic ability. Once per turn at the end of your movement phase, 1 Psyker from your army can use it. So this is the only one that I'm aware of. If it does, roll a d6 on a 1. On a 1, you suffer D3 mortals. On a 2 up, select a friendly Space Marine infantry within 12. Remove them from the battlefield and set them up. Oh, and deep strike them. So
yeah, immediately.
So it's a deep strike on the 2 up at the end of your movement phase.
Yep.
So that's really janky.
Yeah.
Because you can do that turn 1. So
Hey.
this is gonna guarantee a turn 1 charge potentially.
I mean, a chance for one if especially. I mean, it's gonna be a 9-inch, but if you somehow give them buffs to their charge with something, or you have a reroll if you have like who's Seth or
Wow.
whoever gives you. But hey, it's better than it used to be. This used to give them a 12-inch fly in the psychic phase, and they would have fly the next turn. So Dave used to do to me all the time. He'd move it up 6 inches, fly 12 in the psychic phase, and his next turn move 12, and now he's charging in the middle of your army with all these extra attacks. Like, oh, they used to be so brutal.
Yeah. Well, but based on this seems really strong because based on what we've seen so far, you might have your Sanguinary Guard unit with your Dante, and then you probably have your Flamartes with your Death Company squad.
Hmm.
And I mean if those guys just show up turn one and charge you, I mean you're gonna have a bad time.
Oh yeah.
So this is certainly pretty strong.
Well, you imagine
It's
hold
good.
back a turn, you put one of them in reserve at the end of your opponent's turn, you rapid ingress one, jump up closer, and then drop this
Oh
squad on the other
jeez.
side. With like, there's so much stuff you can do with this.
Oh yeah, Rapid Ingress though I still think has to wait until round two.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you I said if you hold back a turn, you can't do it
Oh,
turn one.
and it could be, well no, this is auto, it's automatic.
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't know how the ruling works on this. If you're even allowed to do this on round one, I would assume that you are, but it's there's
because it
some,
doesn't
they could work.
because it doesn't say put them in reserve. They're not doesn't say anything about them going into reserve or anything. Like
It
some of
happens
these rules say
immediately.
like
Yeah,
put them into reserve and bring out. No, this they just warp over there. But I know a lot of stuff guys would
yeah,
do that before, like Gate of Infinity. Like there was a lot of rules in last edition when you
yeah,
couldn't come into turn two that could do stuff like this. So
yep.
until the FAQ
Yeah.
it, I'm assuming that's the way that works.
Seems strong. Seems really strong.
Yeah. Then we got the Sanguinary Guard. So 12-inch move, T4, 2 up save, 2 wounds, leave 6 objects control 1. They are hitting on threes, so your +1 is going to matter. They got their Angelus Bolt Gun, which is only 12 inches, 2 attacks, strength 4, no AP on it. I think it used to be AP 1.
Yep,
Then the
yep.
Inferno Pistol we saw, Plasma Pistol. They have their Encarmine Blade, 4 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 5, negative 2 damage. Wow, that's a lot better than the Hairline weapon on the Vanguard vets. And
Yeah.
then, and then they can also still
The
take the
heritage
fist.
weapon.
Yeah. Oh, and look, they get to keep a Power Fist. That didn't become a heirloom weapon. So these guys kept some nice stuff, whereas like Vanguard didn't get anything. Then you got the Angelic Visage. Each time a melee attack targets this unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll.
Yeah, they still have that. Yep,
Yep, so in
that's a
melee, the
good
minus
one.
1. And then, while a Warlord model is leading this unit, each time a melee attack targets this unit, neg 1 to the wound roll. So you put Dante in here, make him your Warlord, whole units, neg 1 to hit, neg 1 to wound in combat.
Oof. And a 2 up save.
Yeah. Now you rapid ingress them, charge them in to somebody's line, and just keep in combat. And then if you give them the banner, they're +1 to the objective control of models in the unit. So now they're
Seems
stealing
good.
objects. Check. Yep. Still 5 to
Pretty
10
good.
man. So, yep.
Because they're up to 5 attacks on the charge, and yeah, this is similar to how they are
Yeah.
now. But I think maybe their bolt gun lost range
It.
because they
I
they
don't.
made it a pistol.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And it lost AP. I think it used to be AP 1.
Yeah, that's weird that they made it a pistol because I think the bolt gun used to be kind of like a was it a mastercrafted bolt gun before?
I think it was still called an Angelus Bolt Gun. That name sounds familiar to me. But it might have
Yeah.
been like 18 inches or so. I don't. It had some inches.
Oh,
I just remember it had AP on it. And they were never
okay,
24
okay.
inches away from you. They were hiding if they were that far away, so you couldn't
Yeah,
shoot them.
yeah.
So I actually
Definitely
don't
not
know
a
the
shooting
range.
unit.
Yeah, pretty much anytime they shot me, they were within 12 inches anyway.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So those are definitely strong.
Yeah.
Next one is your Sanguinary Priest. I think this is kind of like it's like an apothecary. Let's see, this is another firstborn character. So Assault Squad, Devastator Squad, Tactical, and Vanguard vets. Yeah, this guy this guy is essentially an apothecary. He
Yeah.
fills the same sort of slot. He gives the unit a 5-up feel no pain. He's got a chainsword, and then his other ability is while he's leading a unit, improve the AP of all the melee weapons by 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe good on Vanguard vets, but I don't know if this guy's going to see a lot of play because you're going to play Death Company instead. So
Yeah.
yeah, this guy's probably not so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's fine. It's just the units he's limited to hurt him. Like if he could go in that Sangard with Dante, because he could join with a captain, now you'd really be talking.
Yeah, yeah,
But luckily he can't. Well,
no.
for our non-Blood Angel players, luckily he can't. All right. So then we got the Sanguinar. So he's T4, 7 wounds, 2 up save. He's a lone operative, and he has fights first. He has the Encarmine broadsword with his devastating wounds, 8 attacks, hits on 2, strength 6, neg 3, 2 damage. And then he has an aura. While a friendly Adeptus starts units within 6 inches of this model, you can reroll battle shock and leadership tests taken for the unit.
Ooh, he's built in fights first. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Well, then he's got the miraculous savior. Once per battle, at the end of your opponent's charge phase, if this model is still in reserve, you can select one enemy unit that made a charge move this phase and set this model on the battlefield within engaging
Oh
range of that enemy
no.
unit. Yep.
Oh jeez.
Comes in with fight first and swings before you.
Whew. Wow.
Yep. So you can't charge them till after their turn 3, and he came in from reserve.
Well, that's the first time we've seen that one.
Yeah. Well, they used to have a strat for this. I've had Blood Angels do this to me with. I don't know if it was restricted to him or if they could do that with other characters, but they had a strat that did this exact same thing. But I don't think they had fight first before.
I see. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a combo here because between that librarian dreadnought teleporting some death company in, and then this guy just shows up and causes more disruption.
Yep.
I think, and then this he's also a 2-up save. I mean, for the most part, all this stuff is all T4, so it's not unkillable, but
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
the fights first is always going to be a pain to deal with.
When in the lone operative, like even if he kills something, if you're not close to him, you're not shooting him. Because his lone operative doesn't have restrictions on it. Like some of them, you have to be within range. He's just lone operative.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's got a lot going for him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. If he's pointed appropriately, that's almost an auto take.
Yeah. If they make him cheap enough, you would see him a lot. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many points this guy is now.
I don't know, but
So all right, I think we're almost done. I think we've got 2 more data sheets left.
yeah.
So, Tycho the Lost. So this is a different version of the Tycho that we already saw. I guess this is where he became evil.
Well, he became Death Company.
It became Death Company. Yeah.
This is after he had the Black Rage.
Oh, okay. So he's got the same weapons and everything. He's still Firstborn, but then he became a Death Company. Forlorn Hero. Well, he leads a unit, gives it advance and charge.
Yep.
He can only attach to regular Death Company Marines, so the foot Death Company.
Yep.
He's got the Black Rage, and then he's got the Death Vision of Sanguinius. So this one is if this model is destroyed by melee attack after they finish attacking, roll d6, add 2. Add 2 if the attacking unit contains the enemy warlord. On a 2 to 3, they suffer 3 mortal wounds. On a 4 to 5, they suffer d3 plus 3, and on a 6, they suffer d6 plus 3. So I guess I don't know. This will probably never happen. This only happens if they.
Well,
if
it
they
happens.
kill him.
If he dies, basically you kill his whole unit, and then he pops off mortals. And if for some reason your warlord happened to be there, it's almost guaranteed to do mortals.
Yeah, it's a lot.
If your warlord's there and he rolls a 4 or up, you're taking d6 plus 3. Do not bring your warlord anywhere near Tycho.
Yeah, so if you see Tycho, just kill him in shooting, and that way nothing happens. So, typical Death Company stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And
then we got the Sanguinary Priest with the jump pack. So same Feel No Flame 5 up, and playing +1 AP as the regular Sanguinary Priest, just this one has a jump pack. And he can join Assault Squads and Vanguard Vets, so you probably won't see him.
Alright.
Alright, so that's it for the Blood Angels. They got some spicy stuff, some deep strike moving shenanigans, and a lot of good combat tricks. Decent detachment rule, so Blood Angels, you got options between this and Gladius, but that's it. Pretty much going to wrap it up for the Blood Angels, so we will see you guys next time.